Hello and welcome to another moment in time quick take with me, standard issue ZG Killit. This time something rather shorter, hopefully, something a little bit quicker, something spontaneous that I have just recently come across, and it's a topic on something that I myself personally am still struggling with to this day and throughout most of my life, and something that I feel doesn't really have a place in the world, so to say. It's something you can't really do anything with, and it just mainly just obstructs, like hinders everything. Like it causes like negativity in yourself, in ourselves, in myself, and in our outside world, in our environment as well. And that is the feeling of feeling sorry for yourself, self-pity, pity, one might call it. But yeah, this feeling essentially of feeling sorry for myself. Now, first of all, I would like to just clarify or explain what exactly I mean by that, because this is more or less a paraphrase, it's a metaphor. Feeling when I personally when we feel challenged, when we feel put unpleasant and put into a situation and feeling unpleasant because of it, when we are feeling incapable essentially of overcoming an obstacle, where we are dealing with hardships of any kind, annoyance would be another probably more accurate expression to use here. People, just our natural, unborn and learned way of responding to such situations is to, you know, avoid it in some way or another, like run away from it. You like run away from danger. It's the fight or flight response mechanism within our bodies, in our natural instinct, unborn. It's a reaction, it's a reflex essentially. And these feelings of unpleasantness, and just, you know, being faced with something potentially dangerous, something really unpleasant, and it's making you feel tense, and these things that make us want to run away and just like hide and, you know, just like cover up and never face the world essentially again. I'm aiming towards those types of things by feeling sorry for us. Let me just rephrase it one more time. These types of things are usually just challenges, and we are just, you know, too scared to face them. That's why from there on out, I just you tend to use the expression feeling sorry for yourself, because you're not up to the challenge, so to say. So I myself, I'll be honest, I'll be upfront here, tend to feel sorry for myself a lot, a whole lot. Recently, at the time of recording, a lot, but I am getting much better at handling it, and I will want to share my findings, a little bit, some insights on how I personally myself am dealing with these things, with this feeling that doesn't have a space, because I've been told this many times. That's why I'm making this video and making it public, a public statement. Whenever I tend to feel sorry for myself, like my environment, people around me just always, and they notice, people will notice this feeling. You yourself might not be fully aware of it, because it's a really a feeling of hindsight. It's really just undercover until it erupts like completely. Your environment will notice this, and people just keep telling me specifically, like, dude, why are you feeling sorry for yourself? What's wrong? Like, stop feeling sorry for yourself and just like man up, and, you know, just like, it's not that big of a deal. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. I've been hearing these types of comments, or just like feedback, for my entire life essentially. And from my personal view, I would just like to, you know, I have come to realize that this is a feeling. This is a feeling that needs to be felt. It's a valid feeling, right? It's not something you can just like, you know, like telling someone to stop feeling sorry for themselves. It's not like, oh, they're gonna be like, oh, you're right, absolutely, and they're just gonna take this feeling and like, right, you're right, I'm gonna stop feeling like shit, disconnect, and I'll be better already. That's not how anything works. Like the human body, especially in complexity, the previous video as well, we don't function that way. So while it is good intended, it's necessarily goodwill intended. It's just us feeling this feeling of pity, self-pity, that we usually take this response from our environment, which is reminding us like, come on, it's not that bad. We take this this sentiment and just like, you know, staple it onto ourselves, and we're even more bothered by it. Oh no, the whole environment, like my surroundings, all the people are against me, and now nobody wants to help me, and that type of feeling. It's really, again, it technically doesn't have a place in this world, but it's still a feeling that we humans feel. And with this video, with this what that I'm doing here, I would like to give that feeling some sort of space, and I would like to explain my findings around it, surrounding it, and what it essentially means. What does it want to tell us? Why do we feel it? Namely, I'm gonna start this explanation, this reasoning, with life's hard. That is a fact. That's a statement. You can clip it and ship it. That is a statement for eons, for times. Life has never essentially been easy. Life on a grander scale. We're not talking about like day-to-day life. We're talking on complexity, again, referencing the previous video, of being human, of managing emotions, of, you know, complexity, of a multi-layered being. Life is hard as it is. Life is not meant to be an easy breeze. It's not meant to be an entire comfort zone, dare I say the expression. Life is hard. Life is tough enough as it is. But in this complexity, in our, like I've elaborated, our natural response, our instinct is, oh, we're facing a challenge, we ought to run away, we ought to, you know, fight it head on, or just, you know, like avoid danger, avoid unpleasant feelings. That's our instinct. That's animalistic, so to say. Animals and plants and nature does that as well. That's natural. But in our complexity, in our multi-layeredness, with our conscious minds and our emotions and our feelings, our soul, we are able to identify this. And what I would like to just clarify, or just like bring to light here, is that from let's add to this a spiritual insight, the hindsight, the perspective from spirituality. Like I'm just drawn out, we are humans with body, mind, and soul. Soul is an energetic level, let's say, and just the soul is a part of a universe. It's a part of the great, you know, conscious field, a great field of energy. And from that perspective, and adding to that the well-known proverb of everything happens for a reason. We are brought to life. We are alive because we are alive because we were able to handle it. Because we're supposed to learn. That is one major focal point of, you know, being alive, just learning constantly, day in, day out. And as I've already just hinted at, one particular saying that I have been referring to for a long time, and that has deeply changed my view of life, is the saying, you were given this life because you are strong enough to live it. And expanding on that, you are being faced with this challenge, with this unpleasant feeling, because you're strong enough to overcome it and learn from it and grow. See? That is one of life's mysteries, dare I call it. But that is essentially the truth. That is one part of the truth of our lives. So that saying that saying helped me a lot when I'm ever in facing like a challenge or a crisis or an unpleasant feeling. I try to remind myself, like, I am in this position for a reason. I am in this position. I created these circumstances that make me feel tense and unpleasant and just on the verge of erupting for a reason. What is this trying to teach me? What do I need to do to overcome it? And deep within me, I feel that that is the truth. I am in some way strong enough to face this situation. And that is mainly the main point of this video. As for like, I would like to also expand again, just to return a little bit to this feeling of feeling sorry for yourself. I'd like to offer, what do I call it? A way of coping, a way of handling things, a stress relief technique, essentially, or what to do when you are feeling this feeling that doesn't have a space in your environment. For myself personally, like, let's say rather a little bit more extreme example, just when you've already accumulated and built up a good amount of this feeling throughout the course of time, like a week or month maybe. Sometimes I just feel like, very recently, what helps in this situation, what helps me is just I come home from work, for example, and I just lock the door behind me, put on all the shaders on the windows, turn on all the lights, just lay on the couch or on bed, and if need be, just scream or shout into the pillow. Maybe even, you know, let your anger out by punching the pillow, for example. Just first of all, allow yourself to feel this feeling. Embrace it in that sort of way. Just let it flow out of you, all the ugliness, the bitterness, all the resent, everything that you might be feeling. Like, just let it out. Maybe even like speak it out. Oh, I'm like, that bullshit red light on the street caused me to be 5 minutes late to work. I hate, like, why is it raining outside, and like, why is it raining, and I got all wet, and I just got all these my brand new shoes, and they're just soaking wet, and I'm just really bitter and really just angry and frustrated at the world, and nobody likes me and everyone's against me. Just let it out, let it process. That is the first step in these situations. If you've come this far, if you were able to channel, if you were able to let all of this flow out, the next step, if you're in the position to do so, take a deep breath. My God, breathing just alleviates so much. Take a deep breath, and if you're up to this point, you might as well just go for like the win, essentially, and try to ask yourself, what got you into this situation? What made you feel all this? And usually, I'm gonna tell you a little hint here, or a little secret. Usually when it's built up to this situation, there's usually one trigger point. There is most likely one event, one occurrence, one setting that essentially, as a pebble, plugged up your flow in life, like your flow, your life. You were just going about your day in, day out normally. One thing just plugged up that stayed somewhere hidden like a pebble in your back of mind, and it's just been chafing, and it's just been blocking the flow of everything that you are normally able to process. And it's just been piling up slowly, like a creek, or just accumulation of like sediments. I think that's the expression. Just been putting up layers, and these layers have been piling up to the level of blocking everything out. And of course, you have to erupt. You have to break through it. That is just letting it out, and then just realizing what triggered, what started all this, accumulation in you. That is my personal take, and that is my suggestion. If you are ever feeling like this, if you are aware already that you have been, or you are in the process of accumulating things, and not yet you don't yet feel the need to erupt, explode, you can also try, I call it reasoning with yourself. I tend to personally, for example, just sit down, like on a chair, like right here, just sit down and just talk it out to myself. Okay, I'm feeling really bitter because this and this is everything just going wrong for me, and this is making me feel upset. This is wrong. I hate this. Why is this like this? And just talking it out to myself. Again, just lowering some of those layers until you come to a point where you can be like, okay, so those are all things I don't have influence over mostly. What brought all of this up? Why did all this accumulate within me, right? And once you find an answer, you can be more knowledgeable, you can be more prepared when you face a similar or the same situation again in the future. And you can be like, oh, this caused me last time, this situation, this tick, this trigger point, this triggering feeling caused me to start building up all of these bad feelings inside myself until I exploded and caused even more damage. I'm gonna try to take it easy. I'm gonna try to look at it a different way this time around. And that is the big deal, I suppose. This is the big secret of life. This is how we learn and grow. And that is what feeling sorry for yourself, for ourselves, means or feels to me. And I really wanted to share this in this form right here, right now. And now, of course, I'll mention it here. All of this, all these things that I explained, all this this technique, this method, I suppose, is just a coping mechanism. This is not. This is only to use when you are feeling under pressure, when you can't handle it, essentially, when you want to reground yourself and just be able to function normally. Because even from my case, speaking from my experience, sometimes these things pile up to the level of like, I cannot function for the life of me, no matter what, until I let it out. And it's not always possible to let these things out. That's why if you have a space like at home, somewhere, or someone to confide in, just let all these things out before, like, if you want to confide into another person. Of course, always try to ask first. If you're not able to, just let it out. I'm sure they're gonna pick themselves up later, but if you can, ask them, can I just, like, vent? Can I just vent for my life? And then that's a coping mechanism. Deep healing, like reaching this level of awareness and self-awareness, and reaching a point where many or most things don't bother you or don't even start accumulating up in yourselves, that comes with through like a long period of time. Mostly a lot of exercising, a lot of awareness, a lot of mindfulness practice and mindfulness techniques, a lot of time needs to pass. Those things just take time. That's essentially the gist of it. Nothing can be done really quickly, and it takes time, a lot of knowledge, awareness, self-awareness, and usually in these cases help, counseling, a coach, someone who can monitor, who can help you assess, who helps you notice these things, can really benefit and help alleviate some of the stresses, as well as be that someone you can confide in and just explain these feelings that you're feeling. And of course, as there are many out there, but we at Moment in Time offer these services as well, on the basis of long-term experiences, many years of experiences, many online articles on spirituality, psychology, self-help mechanisms, as well as living this life up to this point, to be able to share experiences from like real time, from practice, in theory, as well as like biological mechanism, just a whole like broadband, like a whole set of knowledge available from me, from us to you guys. And should you ever feel, if you want to just we offer as well just counseling, coaching, and just like a program on modular levels on any particular area you might be struggling with, or an area you might be accumulating things on, as well as just if you feel a need to vent, of course, like we have closed group for now, just a select group for relaxing confessions, we call it, and it's just essentially venting. It's a place to vent out, let's express things, and not be like cynically criticized as it happens on the internet, but instead like being like compassionately heard out, like, and given feedback on how a healthy response would be, or what to do, or what could be the cause of all these situations. So relaxing confessions are going to be a thing as well, or a method that we use, along with just general, like I said, directed, individualized, specific to your tailored needs and deep root causes. All of these things can be found, and we do go deep, and we solve things on a deeper level. From where on out, the entire chain just simply falls off. It's not simple, but throughout the course of time, the entire chain, instead of doing it like piece by piece, the chain falls off, and you are able to feel better and live a better life. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it resonated with you at any point in time. If you do feel sorry for yourself, let me know. If you do ever feel sorry for yourself, please just, contact us for God's sake. Use the relaxing confessions, so you're always welcome to ask, to inquire. Yeah, what's your experience with this feeling of feeling sorry for yourself? Like, how do you notice? Like, do you have someone around you that constantly feels sorry for themselves? Have you noticed that before? Why don't you show them forward them this video? I'll be mighty happy if you do so, and I'll be even happier if they actually contact us and reach out to us. That is enough signing out. I hope, again, thank you very much for watching. I hope it resonated with you. I hope you have a pleasant rest of your day. I hope you are able to identify what causes you to feel in any way, shape, and form sorry for yourself. And I am sure you yourself, and with a little bit of help sometimes when needed, we all together can just, overcome quite literally anything we are facing with in ourselves, outside ourselves, in the world, and we are able to live a happy life. Thank you for watching. This has been ZG, and I hope to see you all at another moment in time.